Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. I'm Ninon, your host. And of course, you know where we are. We're at Quirky Minds Media. This is our new studio. And there's a lot of photographs taken. And then they put them on Facebook and everywhere else with a green screen. Because we actually do this with a green screen. And then we, put the Vegas in the back of it. So if any of you see this green screen out there, don't be afraid. It's okay. And I approve of it, so it's fine. I have Chris Ivan with me. And he's in the music business, I think. But we interviewed each other last night.
Yes, we did.
On Ring of Desire.
Yes, it was an amazing movie. I really liked it.
Did you watch it? Because I left.
Yes, I watched the whole thing and I really liked it.
Is it, and because you have a part in it, right?
No, I don't. I have nothing. I was just supporting.
You're just supporting.
Yes, I really appreciate how they put in the LGBTQ within the movie, and I just loved having representation.
Having that put in there. Yeah. I think more people are not afraid of doing it anymore. Yeah. And I think the reason people were afraid, and I'm not stepping out here, but I'm just being honest how people think, is I don't think they knew how to present it without upsetting anybody. Because sometimes when you put things out on the media and you don't have it correct, you can upset the whole organization.
Especially in this world that we live in. The smallest error in everything falls down if you.
And then some movies they said this and then they did that, and they didn't do it purposely. It's just that sometimes you just don't know how to present it. Yeah. So I'm always one of those people to allow that little bit of sort of let them understand first. So once you understand, and I think more and more people are understanding. That this is how it is. This is what it is, and it's never going to change.
Never. And you know what? They did it amazing. So congratulations to Ronnie. I really love the movie, and I love talking to you. You're gorgeous, by the way. Your outfit, everything about you is stunning.
Thank you. Oh, you're so sweet. Welcome. Isn't that nice getting the compliments? At my age and being around there and out there and everything else, and still get compliments. This is why I love the younger generation. I love them. So now you are a singer. I think we were talking about that last night. You are singing the blues, or what are you singing?
So my genre is pop music. I love pop music. I've been studying it ever since I was born. Okay. I was raised in the church, so in my early years, I really was studying more gospel and just choir, and it was. Does
that give you the tranquility of singing? Because when you're in a place of worship, you're not on stage. You're not have all these instruments. You're just singing like sort of God in a godly way.
Oh yeah, and I appreciate everyone who had taught me how to really worship and just sing songs like that, and I wouldn't change it for anything. It was honestly my fundament, my base. Your base
of going to where you wanted to go. So you were actually born as a singer, not taught as a singer. And when did you probably when you were just born, you probably came out with a lovely scream or something.
Oh, probably.
Probably. But you actually came out with a voice. How old were you when you? I don't know whether you realised it, because you're probably too young, but when you realised that you have this voice.
Honestly, they told me ever since I was just honestly like baby. I always loved crying, and when I was a little older.
Because when you're a baby, all you do is cry or you laugh.
And once I got a little older, maybe 3 or 4, I was honestly singing songs, remembering them from beginning to end, and I always loved. I always loved female artists, just because, and especially in this world, they deal with so much more than men, and
the truth is coming out.
They really do, and I feel like there needs to be more representation and support by men, acknowledging that women have it a lot. They have it a lot harder than men do.
Well, they have responsibilities. Women have responsibilities as of a house and as of bringing children up, giving birth, conceiving children, giving birth to children. So they go through a lot more.
They have so much.
I've never understood about this liberation and this men and this man thing, because men and women are so 100% different.
Oh, different. And
I could never do what yes, I can do a lot of things that men do, and men can do a lot of things I do.
Yeah.
But it's basically, no, I can't do a lot of things. And I don't want to either.
I know. And my whole life I would see these female artists like Demi Lovato and Lady Gaga and Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. I studied their vocal range, and growing up as a child, my vocal range was a little higher than most boys at the age. And you know what? You get your little negative feedback from everyone.
Of course, everybody does.
But you know
what?
For a while, I used to let it affect me until I kind of mastered the art of being different. And you know what? You have a different range because your purpose is different, than anyone else.
You have different vocal cords.
And
you have Adam's apples and all sorts of things going on. I don't know what it all is about, but that's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
And you learn, because it's yours, how to control it and do it. We learn ours because that's what I learned I've got.
And it took me a very long time
to understand it.
To understand it, there were so many other. I tried to be at a time of like just trying out different genres until I found the right one, and pop really fit for me. And I think
you feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, I feel comfortable with it, and it's a little bit more. I get to explain my story. I feel like it delivers to the people better with pop music.
With pop music and how you do it. Are you very loud, or are you just sort of more of a ballad, or more of a action?
I love my ballads. I love my ballads. I love the actions. I'm a little bit of everything. The album has a little bit of everything. So I love ballads. I actually have a song called Biggest Battle. It's my title track off of my debut album, Biggest Battle.
Can you sing a couple of lines?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Treat.
Oh my God, here we go.
Okay.
Okay. Why do I... your words a bullet. You pulled the trigger, took the shot. You know you shouldn't. Your self-distraction's gotta stop. Yeah.
I love it. I mean, just to come out and do that, but you have a very soft voice.
Thank you. That song is a very soft song, and I also share that song with Joe Lujan. He's actually featured in the song and singing it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Joe Lujan, I only found out last night that he actually sung. I did not know he was a singer.
Oh, yeah.
So this man has many talents.
Yes, I don't think the world knew he was a singer until...
You came along.
Yeah, until we met, and I actually wrote Biggest Battle for his grandmother. And it was just that story is very...
It was very touching to you.
Yeah.
Very touching and very meaningful. And I think that's what songs should be, and that's what should come out of a song. I think when you write a song, it has to come from somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Or it has to mean something from somewhere. It has to be an action. It has to be something that's kind of happened.
Oh, yeah.
And...
I agree with you 100%. I wrote my album not knowing I was actually going to write an album. I was going to do a single.
No, I'm going over here. Yeah. Oh, by the way, this is a mask. I got to show this mask because he really wants to wear it, and I said I don't want my mask on the show. But this is the new mask,
yes.
and this is called Chris Ivan Biggest Battle. There you go. All right. So he wanted that to be shown.
Yes.
Steve's now taking a photograph of it as well.
And y'all could find that on my website at www.chrisivan.net.
Put this there like that so we can see it.
Yeah.
Now, is this your new CD?
Yes, it is.
That's the new CD. We put it up there. And how many songs are on this?
This has 14.
14?
Yes. The original version, which is on streaming platforms, it has 12. But the actual CD, and it's actually being held at Zia Records here in Vegas and on their websites. The 2 bonus songs actually feature Joe Lujan with Beautiful Warriors and Biggest Battle. Oh yeah.
Right. So you see, his face lightens up every time you mention Joe. So
I mean, the album wouldn't be the same
without him.
Without him, because I called it Biggest Battle because everything that led up to the release of the album was a battle. And honestly, some battles were more difficult than others, and some of them could have honestly
not even been.
I wouldn't have even been to this point in life where I could even release it. So I felt like it was very much needed for people to understand that, hey, if you go up in a church and you are different and you get excommunicated, it's very difficult, but you have to continue pushing. And
you have to be accepted as to who you are and what you are. Sometimes we choose and sometimes we don't choose.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're born gay and sometimes they say we're not born gay. I personally think most people are born gay.
Oh, yeah. And
of course, I read about it at one time, and it's all about the hormones and more hormones here. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but there's more hormones here than there should be there, and this is why. And
Yeah.
There's a reason behind all of it. I mean, whatever reason you all want to, and everybody can have their own judgment. Who cares?
Yeah, and I felt like growing up when I needed an artist,
especially in church.
Oh yeah, and when I needed an artist to talk about certain things and to not feel alone because I felt isolated.
Were you bullied at all?
I was bullied, and with my height and my
You're a big guy.
Yeah, I quickly figured out. You know what?
I'm gonna fight this battle.
I know. Yeah, I was just like, why am I letting them? So unfortunately, a time period of my life, I turned into a bully to protect myself.
Well, of course you have to. If they're going to bully you, then you've got to bully them back. Head's a bunch of fives. And I don't mean $5. I mean a wrist.
Oh yeah, several of those. But you know what? After leaving that I like to say like that whole wilderness of school. That was awful. I hated school.
Did you learn anything?
I did learn a lot, but it was just a very kids are very cruel.
Kids. I had a TV show for 16 years, and kids bully kids, and they all talk about each other. They're worse than men. You know how you have some of these men gossip. Worse than that. And it was it was an opening. It was. I didn't think children were like that.
Yeah, but
you experienced it.
Yes, and I strongly believe they get those traits from their parents, and their parents aren't doing their job as a parent. How old are you? I'm 21.
Okay, so you're hearing this. Nobody's pre-told you to say any of this, but you can say whatever you want.
No, I feel like kids get their behaviors from their parents. They look up as their role models. So if kids are saying certain words or trying to be rude or trying to belittle someone or even questioning their existence, something in their household is
going wrong. Mm-hmm. They're not paying attention.
Oh, yeah. And I figured that out at a very young age that, you know what? You are a little different, and you're going to be here for a while, you know.
You're not going anywhere.
You're not, yeah.
Not going anywhere.
That's why when I got the chance to start writing and recording, I self-funded my whole album. It took me almost 4 years. I paid for every studio session, every music video, everything. Like, I kid you not. And people out here in Vegas think that I've cut corners and don't qualify me as a real artist.
Yeah, but you've got Joe to help you now.
Oh, yeah. But I personally want them to know that, like, I'm an artist just like you and working endlessly to have our art. Like, everyone's voice deserves to be heard.
Absolutely. Well, this is why we have Vegas Live with Ninon, so that we can have people like you on to tell the story of what you went through and what happened to you, but that didn't stop you.
No.
Money didn't stop him. People didn't stop him. Nothing has stopped you, Chris.
Oh, yeah. And don't get me wrong. There was very high moments, and then there was very low moments creating this album. And to be honest, creating the album, I got to a point where I was 80% done. And something in my life completely just changed. I did a 360 from one day to the next.
What happened?
My whole world was just changed. I was living in a certain lifestyle, seeing certain people every day, and just with me, people having difficulties of understanding and accepting me. The world changed, and that was a time where I stopped recording music, and and it sucks to say, but it needs to be said because not artists, we're human, okay? And there was a time where I was questioning my own existence, and it's kind of weird and very taboo for someone to say that, but you know, were you
thinking of suicide or thinking of you're not worth anything?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
You know something?
I was.
There are so many children out there that think what you're thinking, especially since this lockdown and everything. They're all feeling like, why am I here? What am I doing? Am I worth anything? And there are more suicides that are being committed with our younger generation than you will ever see in the news media. We don't hear about it.
Yeah, and there's not enough representation, and I really feel that, like, that is why I'm here, to let people know that, like, it's okay to not be okay, and to just continue finding your purpose. And once I continued to stride and take every day slowly, you know, I felt like my message was for those kids, those little boys and those little girls who feel like they're alone and they don't feel like their family is listening. I've been through that, and I've overcome that, and I put it all in my music.
That's true. So you had an outlet.
Oh yeah.
So what would their outlet be if they're not into music? It would be for them to find something that is of their own.
Oh yeah, you there's so many. There's sports, there's art, there's dance. There is if you're into mechanics, just do something that fits you and you pursue it.
It doesn't matter what it is.
It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever makes you happy.
Everybody is different in this world. Mm-hmm. Everybody is totally different.
Oh yeah.
And you found a way. How long did it take you to get out of that feeling of not wanted or not being good enough for this world? Because you didn't feel good enough for this world.
You know what? I would say that it took me around until. I'm not even going to lie. It took me maybe a month before the album was released.
Really? So it took you about a year or so it took about a year to get over your feeling of yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Of who you are.
My biggest battle was literally myself from releasing the album.
Well, it's always yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody understand this out there, that whatever happens with you is through you. Mm-hmm. It's not through. You can blame everybody you want in the entire world. You can blame anybody out there. That never happens. It's nothing to do with them. Yeah. It's to do with yourself. Mm-hmm. So give the younger generation a message of, if anyone's in that position right now.
Oh, okay. You know, my message would be, honestly, to it's okay to cry. Do not suppress it. I feel like, do not let yourself cry, and whatever you do, don't suppress it. But at the same time, continue to look at yourself in the mirror and tell you are worthy. If you don't hear it from your left or your right, from the people around you, let yourself look at yourself in the mirror and tell you that you're beautiful, that you're handsome, because not enough people hear that. And those words of validation mean so much to kids who are growing up, and to even adults, because we could be going on our everyday lives, but that one word of me saying, "Oh, you look so beautiful today," or "You look so great," it makes you feel good, and you never know what someone's intentions are at the end of the day.
And you're so right, because when I had my children's show, my teenage show, Voices of Tomorrow, I would do, because "Hey, I love you." Yeah. You have no idea. They had never, ever heard that word. And I'm not saying you love them, but it's just a passing word. In other words, you're letting them know that you are worthy to be in this world.
Yeah.
This is you were born to be part of this world.
Oh, yeah.
So the younger generation out there, please, you are worthy. It doesn't matter whether you're skinny, whether you're middle, or what. It doesn't matter what color you are, what religion you are. It doesn't matter who you are. You're worthy. Yeah. And it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. And if I could pick one song from my album, if they could only listen to one song off the album, I would let them. I would want them to hear Control.
Control. Okay.
I felt like I didn't have control over my life. I didn't have the reins. I went where the head honcho told me, and when I had to stand, I stood, and when I had to sleep, I went to bed. Yeah, and it took me a long time to get control of my life. And you know what? I talk in the song that it's weird. Like, in the beginning stages of you controlling your life, you're like, oh my God, you're looking over your shoulders.
Is everybody watching me? Listen, and am I different? And they're watching me because I'm different.
Oh,
That's like when you're out there on stage, when you miss a word or you miss a line, the audience have no idea you missed it.
They don't.
They no idea you made a mistake.
But I will, in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I missed it.
You get all angry with yourself, and you don't have to.
I know. And that I've been realizing more and more as I've been performing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
And those are one of my greatest words. It doesn't matter. And in the end, it doesn't matter. How can anybody reach your CD?
So you guys could find me on social media, like on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at Official Chris Ivan. You guys can find the album Biggest Battle on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music. Literally anywhere you can listen to music, you just type in Chris Ivan Biggest Battle and you'll find the album. You won't find the 2 bonus tracks because that's on the deluxe album. You have to find that on my website or at Zia Records.
And where's your website?
My website is www.chrisivan.net, and gives basically all the information of where I'm going to perform, to any music videos coming out, which I do have a visual album and a black glitter edition of The Biggest Battle coming out, and that is going to be announced very soon. But I'm thinking June or July.
June or July. As I'm listening to this, we just went through The Biggest Battle.
Yes.
And it is The Biggest Battle. I know that Chris was a little bit nervous coming on, but not really as nervous because he's just a young child, young teenager.
Yeah.
And I just went all the way back to Voices of Tomorrow, a show I had for 16 years, and I dealt with people like you for 16 years of shows, and I don't know how many, 500 or 600 shows I have, and of all the stories they have, and the hardships of growing up. And I think parents out there, I don't know whether you're a parent or a stepmother or father or grandmothers or care people, I don't care who you are, please pay attention to our younger generation. Up until 18, we actually have to take care of them.
Yeah.
After 18, you can say goodbye. Doesn't matter.
No.
But up until then,
yes,
this is a responsibility of... Excuse me, it's the air here. You have a responsibility of taking care of the younger generation, because they need you. Mm-hmm. The reason you're a parent is because you've gone through all this. So now you've got to make sure you give them the guidance and the hope and the trust that they have in you. Don't all children have trust in their parents?
Oh, yeah. And even if they haven't experienced that, let them know that we'll experience it together and the love hasn't changed for them.
No. And always remember one thing, and then I'll close the show. You don't talk at your children or your teenagers. You talk with them. Mm-hmm. And you have a conversation. If you talk at them, you're putting them down. If you talk with them, you're having a conversation that both of you can sort out and understand where it's going and what they need, because they really don't need too much. They don't need Cadillacs, they don't need houses, they don't need money, but they need you. Ooh. Isn't it amazing? Anyway, thank you. After my long speech, thank you for coming on,
Chris.
Chris.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for all the advice and everything you've just given us, because that's it's just a real treat coming out from somebody that's only 21 and understanding and supporting and paying for his own CD. He just didn't. It's not you didn't trust anybody. You just knew that if he wanted to get it done, he had to do it.
Oh yeah, I had to do it myself.
You had to do it yourself, and that's why. I want to thank everybody out there. We're now closing out on our weekly broadcasting, which is what we do every week. We've interviewed about 5 or 6 people. I think it was 6 today we had interviews of with Steve. By the way, it's my producer's birthday today, so happy birthday, Steve!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to you! And
we'll say happy birthday?
Yeah, of course you can say. Yeah.
Okay. Oof. I just put myself on the spot. I don't know.
No, you put go now. You do it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Steve. Happy birthday to you.
What a treat that was. And we closed out on Vegas Live with Ninon, and of course we're filming at Quirky Minds Media, and Steve, my producer, and then we've got Lynn, who is my director of talent, and we've got a whole bunch of people out there that are doing marketing and everything for us. We're just moving forward. We're not stopping. COVID-19, we're not going to let you stop us. Mm-mm. And we're just going to move forward, and we'll see you all soon. Take care.
I want us to rethink risk, because risk feels like faith.
Amazing grace, amazing. Don't you feel it? 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 I never fit a mold. Oh, you passed up on this gold. You underestimated me, switched up all your one who's in control. I'm the one who's in control. Don't you feel it? Don't you feel it? Don't you feel it? I'm the one who's in control. Don't you feel it? Don't you feel it? Oh, it's a little weird being free. I say and do what's right for me, waiting for me to come home. Try and take me out of my zone. Your touch shows me I'm never alone. Your touch shows me I'm never alone. You ain't lonely riding this road. You ain't lonely riding this road. Your touch shows me I'm never alone. Your touch shows me I'm never alone. I guess now I'm the one in control. I'm the one who's in control. I'm the one who's in control. Don't you feel it? Don't you feel it? Don't you feel it? I'm the one who's in control. Don't you feel it? Oh, I'm the one who's in control. Be strong on your own. Try not to fold. Now I'm in control.
If you enjoyed the last show we just did and all the other shows, don't forget to subscribe Vegas Live with Ninon on YouTube. We've got plenty more coming up and our guests are amazing. So don't forget to subscribe. We'll be right back. Vegas Live with Ninon.